Hello, welcome to another episode of Chaotic Torture RC. Today I'm going to do a little tutorial on some basic cleaning tips and stuff. This can apply for all your RC needs, as far as your electric, nitro, I guess you can use it with your boats, planes, helicopters. Might not want to use some of the stuff on your styrofoam based products, some of your foam helis and whatever, but as far as cleaning the concepts goes, it's all going to be the same, just different product that you would use. I've got several builds going on right now. That's why I've not had a whole lot of videos that I've been making. I could be doing some build tutorials, but I'm not sure how many of y'all want to watch me builds on some rock crawlers and such. But it's been really hot lately and just miserable, so I figured I'd take some time to clean my RCs. You have to excuse the background noise. I have air conditioning and fans going, but the heat index has been 100 plus. The humidity's been really high in the area I'm located at. So today I'm going to take a Traxxas Slash 4x4. Nothing special about it. It's got a few mods, not nothing big, some RPM parts basically, and rear shaft. And also for it I have some Proline Power Stroke dual stage shocks that I will be putting on it. But before I can put these on here, the truck itself is very dirty, as you can see. You can see all the dirt and debris in through there. I picked this truck up used. I've not cleaned it. I've run it a couple times. It runs fine. So now I need to go through and give it a good thorough cleaning. But I figured, well, I'm doing that, why not make a video? And there's 101 different ways you can clean RCs. Some guys will just take and hit it with a water hose and call that done. In the past I've done that, but I'm going a few extra steps now. I have found a way to help seal with a let me make sure that I don't, with the silicone base. It dries clear. I'm using this now on my builds when I run stuff. WD-40. It is Specialist Water Resistant Silicone Lubricant. It says multi-surface, quick drying, protects against rust. I've used this on a couple crawlers now since I've been trying it out, and it has made cleanup a lot easier. A lot of the mud and stuff that would normally get caked onto the stuff brushes off, wipes right off. And the hardware that has been sprayed with it, since I refuse to use stainless steel for it's not being as durable as other hardware, the hardware that I've applied this on since I've been trying it out has not rusted either. The only thing that I have not done with this, I have not applied this to any kind of bearings. I don't know that I would trust using it on bearings. I don't know if it would be abrasive with them or not. But I know as far as on my plastics and the metal framework and stuff that I use it on, I had no issues. I was concerned about applying it to plastic and getting spotting, but I'm not even getting that. And you'll have to excuse, every once in a while you'll hear a compressor kick on. Because one of the things I'm going to recommend if you have access to a compressor is to spray all your RC stuff out before you start cleaning and wiping it down. And the way I do it, instead of using a big air compressor with a nozzle, I use one of my old airbrushes hooked up to my air compressor with 60 psi, plenty enough air to spray and remove dust and debris. And if you needed to, you could spray some of your cleaning solution to hit if you need to get something to soak or get it into a tighter area that just using a big bottle of spray won't get to. You can spray some in this and then hit them areas. And so I'm using this airbrush here that I'm using specifically is a cheap one off eBay. It's from Master. And I use a quick release because I got several airbrushes I do a lot of painting on when I can, so it's nice to be able to just switch from airbrush to airbrush. So what I'm going to be using today in this video, you can use what you want, soap, water, whatever. I'm going to use Simple Green for my main cleaner. I will be using shop towels. I used to use paper towels, but I was going through a lot of them. They were tearing and getting weak. But I've tried the shop towels. They're thicker. One towel lasts a lot longer, so it goes further. And these are the throwaway ones you get them at Walmart, AutoZone, places like that. Then I've got these that are considered shop towels. These are reusable. You can wash them It's like a washcloth. I got these so I wouldn't upset the wife by using her pretty cupcake hand towels and stuff that she has for the kitchen. And then I've got a microfiber cloth as well that I set things on. And then I use a toothbrush. Nothing special. Some people even go as far as using paintbrushes to get stuff out, but for the vehicles that I run, this seems to be sufficient enough for what I do. And what I'll start doing first is I'm just going to take this, and I don't know if you'll see it on camera or not, just start spraying all the loose dust and debris away that I can from it. I did some of this, I shook a lot of it off outside before I brought it in, so I didn't get it all over my work area, and I don't want to get my camera dirty, but there is some dust in here flying off. But I just go through and give it a quick hose down. I even get inside my rims and tires. Now, normally I would take all 4 tires off and stuff. Obviously in this video I'm not going to have time to go through and clean the whole RC and show before and after of everything. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit the front section, clean it, show you all on camera the difference that it makes. And then I will do the rest of it off camera, of course, because y'all don't really need to sit and watch everything. I'll take my brush, and just after I did the air down, I'll just give it a quick dry rub here and there. Alright, what I use this for, I'm going to lay this underneath the front end of my truck. Not that the cleaners I'm using are going to hurt anything on this bench, but just out of habit and practice, it's always good to be conservative of your area. I will go ahead and take these off on the front. Make it a little easier for you all to see what I'm doing. And of course I do need to clean the rims and tires. As you can see, a lot of dust up in there already, so I guess it's good since I'm hitting the front end of this to go ahead and do that. And on some RCs, if I felt that this was ready to relube my front and rear diffs and stuff in it, I would go ahead and tear it down and clean pieces individually off the car as I'm redoing the diffs and stuff. But the person I got this from didn't have it very long. I got a really good deal with it, and it hasn't had much use on it at all, and everything feels buttery smooth in it, so there's no reason for me to tear this down yet. 9 out of 10 times when I buy used, I will tear it down just for my own safe satisfaction of knowing what I have in it, but I knew the person that this came from, so I didn't feel the need to do so. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, go ahead and grab me a shop towel from this. I'm just going to go ahead and grab 2. And then, since I have fans and stuff, I'm going to block it with this. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a wet down. Let that sit for a minute. And then, after I did that, let it sit. Some of it soak in if you got some super dirty areas or areas with some heavy grease or anything. Like I said, this is fairly new, so no grease has been leaking out of the diffs or anything, so I don't have to worry about that. Simple Green's good with that. If you need something a little bit heavier, I've also used Mean Green for degreasing stuff. Usually when I do my diffs, I'll pull them out of a case and just soak them in some Mean Green for a little bit, remove all the grease and residue from them, wipe them down real good before I apply new grease. But now what I will do, a little different from doing it on camera here, but I will just give it a once over all the areas with a toothbrush, and I'll also churn my shafts so I can be sure to get those clean. No good in cleaning your truck if you're not going to clean everything on it. I'm even going to turn it upside down here, be sure I get the bottom of the A-arms. While I got it upside down, I'll go ahead and hit the other side, hit my knuckles, churn it, get in all the little crevices, get this side. Turn this side as well, like I did. Basically, it's just like a mirror. Whatever you did on one side, you want to be sure you repeat on the other side as far as the cleaning process goes. And then I'll flip it back over. I'm just gonna... The hardest part without taking everything apart is getting in here by the diffs where all the dirt collects and sticks a little more. That's part of why I use this toothbrush. This is a small child's toothbrush, and it's getting yucky looking, but when I'm done, I'll just rinse it off and clean it, and it'll be good for a couple more cleanings. I've even used small little die brushes for some of the harder place reaches, and they're a little bit stiffer bristle. And I've had good luck with those. But with the Slash, everything's pretty much open. I mean, it's got a few tight places. Okay, now that I've done that, I will take and spray me some on my cloth, and then give it a physical wipe down. And what that's going to do is any residue left over from the brush as I did it, it's going to remove the residue and dirt from that. And some people may not go this far with their cleaning, and I know there's a lot of guys, the die-hard racers, that will strip a car down after every run and put it back up. I no longer race, so there's no reason for me to go that in-depth. Anybody that knows me and has seen any of my videos on my Facebook page, don't know what I do with a Slash. I build a large ramp and I beat the piss out of it. But I also do take care of it. That way I can go out and do it again the next time. And out of all my RCs, the Slash trucks have been the most durable of anything that I use when I go out and just want to be destructive with an RC. Very seldom have I... The biggest failure that I've had is probably been stock drive shafts. On the rear of this, I've upgraded the rear already since I had it. I've not done the front yet, but I will. And honestly, I'm using Energy in the rear. Energy HD shafts. The last set I had lasted me 3.5 years before I broke one. And for the price, I can't complain for a shaft lasting me 3.5 years. 3.5 years and through 2 trucks. And I finally had one break. I can't complain on that for the price. I had a set of MIPs. And I don't want to be disrespectful to MIP. They've been a company that's been around for years and make a good product. I don't like their setup, and I've actually broken them. Actually, I broke a set in my Revo too. So, as far as a good shaft for budget and bashing, I like the Energy HD shafts. I don't race. They add a little bit of weight, but like I said, I don't race. I jump and beat the crap out of this thing. So, to me, it's worth it. And I've got friends that drive and run on stock shafts and haven't broke one, or they break one very seldom. I don't know if it's just because my harder driving style. It seems like rear stock shafts just do not hold up on me. I don't run my slipper loose. I run it as cranked down tight as I can, 3S, and let it go. So that could be a big part of why. Alright, now, like I said, I could go as far as, you know, take these 2 screws here out. I'll do it just for the sake of the video, but this isn't something that I do a whole lot. But just for those, sometimes a little bit of dirt and debris gets caught up into that. But that was actually, like I said, this one's fairly new. And everything was fairly clean other than it being dirty and dusty from the previous user. I think I've put 2 runs on this maybe since I've had it. 3 at the most. And none of them's been in water or anything, so maybe some dust from the gravel is about all I've added to it. Alright, anyways, that's a basic rundown. I've scrubbed the front end of this truck down. I still got from here back to go, but the chassis is easy. I will remove the speed control so I can get in there with the brush and do that, go through all the heat sinks and blow that out. And I've got got a dual fan motor set up on there. But as you can see, if you pay attention to the beginning of the video, how dirty and dusty all this was inside through there. It is all now clean. Looks good. And for a lot, from here, you know, I'm only just demonstrating from here up. For a lot of people, that would be good. I will take my rims, wipe them down on the inside, wipe the tire down on the outer edge, same with the front. Now the little openings in there, if you want to fight with your brush and stuff and do so, that's fine with you. A tire is a tire. This is going to get dirty again anyways. I don't have no expensive bead locks on this, and so I don't mess with all the little openings. Now if I had some nice rims that were aluminum and needed to be well taken care of, I would address it a proper way, but for what this is, no. Now that I've done that, I'm going to set this aside. I know I'm going to do the other tire, but no need to do it on cam. Alright, now here's where I use the WD-40 Specialist. Like I said, it's water resistant and it's a silicone lubricant. And it adds a thin layer over everything that it's applied to. It'll dry on its own. You can spray it on wet and leave it there and let it sit for several hours and it'll dry on its own. But what I actually do is I will spray it on and then I will take a cloth and rub it in. Now I've tested it out. I've done half of an RC with just spraying it and leaving it, and the other half with spraying it and wiping it. And my end results after running it through mud and water were the same. I'm not the most patient person. Yeah, it does add a few minutes extra work, but I prefer to spray it and rub it on. That way I know it's actually getting in and filling in any little cracks, grooves, push it into your hardware. And for this, I will grab separate set of shop towels. I don't want to mix, because this is dry. I've wiped it off and it's all dry, but I don't want to mix it with the Simple Green. And then block my fans. I will just, as you can see, a couple just lightly squirted. It comes out fairly thick and heavy. Then I'll let it sit. I'll let it sit a moment or two before I go to rubbing it in. I'll give it a little bit of time for it to work on its own. Excuse me, it's hot. I'll take a drink of this. And then now that it's sat, I'll just take and rub it in. It's almost like I'm cleaning it again, but honestly what this is doing is pushing the silicone lubricant. It's in the spray, and I'm just smearing it into the plastic. That's what I'm doing. And you'll see a difference when I get this done in the way that the plastics look. And as I did earlier, turn the shaft so I can wipe them. Make sure you clean the A-lines. If you've had some scuffs in your plastic, just rub it in all directions and be sure that it really takes there. I'll even sometimes just hit it one more time with a little bit more and rub it in better. Turn the shaft for that side. Wipe it down. Then I'll flip it back over. There might be some hard to reach spots that you can't just get on your own with rubbing it in. On those, I just go ahead and let them air dry. Because 9 out of 10 times when I clean an RC, I got other things I have to do, so I don't go run it immediately. So letting this sit for a little bit to let the little areas that I just can't reach dry is no big deal for me. But I assure you it does dry, and it dries clear, so it doesn't spot, doesn't fade anything. And let me zoom my camera in the best that I can, and I will if you look at the blue on the RPM A-arm, it's got a nice look to it. The steering hub and knuckle is nice and clean. It's got a shine to it. It's dry. That is dry. That is the silicone based lubricant. It doesn't feel oily at all. You can see right through there. It's dry, no residue on my hands. That's nice and clean looking and dry. I will go back later. I didn't clean inside there where the mounting holes are. I'll get that, and because like I said, it also adds a layer of lubrication, or not lubrication, a layer of silicone over all your hardware to help prevent rust. So this has been something I've been doing, and I've noticed with the one truck that I've been testing it out on, I've run it 2 months now, about 2.5 months, and I've not had to reapply it. And for cleaning it, it's just as little simple as spraying a little bit of cleaner on a cloth, wiping it down, and done. I don't know how hard it is to get the stuff off the plastics, but I've used Simple and Mean Green on a couple things that I've been using it on, and it doesn't remove it. So I'm going to try to make it a goal at least every 3 months to tear down and rebuild. So when I do my tear downs and rebuilds, that's when I'll reapply, or if I notice it on something else. But like I said, I've got one crawler that I've had it on for a little over 2 months, and it's been submerged in water, run through mud, trying to think, dirt, dust, gravel, all sorts of elements, warm days, cooler days, and it's still got a good layer of protection on it that you can see after I wipe it down. So I haven't had a need to reapply it. Now I know there's other companies out there that make special products to help do all the same thing that this is doing. I've not used them. I don't want to say if this is any better or worse, but I know price wise I can get this at Lowe's, $5-6 a can, if that. And I know some of the other products when I look for them online, a little bit pricier, then I have to order, and then not only is it an order, I have to pay for the shipping and the weight. Not saying that they're bad products, not saying that they don't work any better. I'm not going to say that they do work better. I'm just saying for me and my applications, and if you're an RC or on a budget but you want to keep your vehicles looking nice and keep them protected from the elements, I recommend using this. Like I said, I've been using it for a few months now. I've not noticed any no negative from it. I did spray it on some before I ever applied it to anything. I sprayed it on some scrap plastic parts and let them set to be sure that it wasn't weakening anything. I put some out and just let them sit on my porch in the sun for a very long time. Didn't weaken, didn't soften any more than what it would without it. So I have tested it to be sure that there's no harmful side effects that I've come across yet. And with it being silicone based, I don't know that there would be any side effects. But as you can tell, my front end has a nice shiny look to it. Some pieces even appear to look wet that I've wiped down that are dry. There's a nice sheen. Some of them almost looks shinier than when the plastics were new from Traxxas. And I've got a little bit on my stand here, so once I'm done cleaning the whole truck, I'll polish up my stand, and my stand will be a little bit more protected from some of the elements. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and conclude this video. I will make a mention that when I clean shocks, a lot of times I'll just go ahead and pull my shock cup, get all my springs and retaining clips, all that off, and clean each piece individual. When I'm doing a shock spring, I'll take my cloth with my cleaning agent and run my shock through it. If you twist your shock when you get to the end, if you take and twist your shock, if you're spinning it, you can actually get into the tight spot. See how the spring's holding the rag? It got in there without you having to try to separate it with your fingers to clean it. So that's how I would do my shocks. I do a full takedown of the piece. I don't always rebuild my shocks or anything, but I will pull everything off, clean it, use my brush where I need to, and then reassemble everything. I clean the inside and outside of my shock cup, and then reassemble, and then you've got a clean shock. And that's what I'll be doing. I'll clean these shocks, I'll clean the rest of this, and before I'm done for the evening, I'll have my slash looking as clean and about as new as I can get it. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section. I'll answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you for watching. Please like, and if you haven't already, subscribe. I have, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I have several other projects going. I plan on getting some videos of them once I get them built. I'm working on a Matzilla truggy. It's of a different sort. And I'm getting ready to get my Matzilla Ultra 4 down to finish it. It was a build that I started last winter. Never did completely finish it. I ran it once just to see what I was going to do with it. I did the XR10 axle mod on it. I will be getting that down within the next few weeks. I got to finish making body panels and change a few things with suspension and the shock setup on it, and paint it as well. So I'll be doing some of that on camera. If anybody's interested, just let me know. But when I get that build finished, I will definitely be doing a review for it. And y'all have a good day. Thank you.